If you're new to the page, please subscribe and press notifications. I am just loving this. After 10 years of soul searching, all these answers I'm sharing with yourself, and I'm still evolving. So as I share with you, I get new insights, I get new ways. So please comment, please get involved, please tell me about your journey, and so that we all can share in the experience and evolve together. How to use a crystal ball to look into the future. Now, the one thing that is the problem with the crystal ball is that there's no emotion attached to it because it's a future event. Often the case is that when you see pictures and images in a crystal ball, you have no feeling whether it's right or wrong. So you tend to have to sort of like partly work it out or mostly give what the picture is saying to the person. But what I'll do is I'll work through you how to use the crystal ball and how that you can actually get messages from the crystal ball first, and then we'll work on the future stuff. Now, a crystal ball is like, it's just a tool. It's just something for the eyes to focus on. Now, a lot of people who can't let go or are trying too hard or trying to control what they get will not be able to work with a crystal ball. And that's why they find it so hard. Because it's mostly about relaxing. It's mostly about switching off the brain so you can allow the pictures to show. It's also about connecting to whoever is trying to show you the information as well. So to really start out, meditation really helps you to get into the zone. Also, there's different ways that you can actually get symbols and images and information. Some people use water, and they find that it's because of the power of the water, it makes it easier to communicate, to be able to see things. There's also, you can use a wall, a white wall, and then images can be shown in a white wall. So crystal ball is really just a more advanced way of the clairvoyance. It's giving you a focus, it's giving you somewhere to look. Now, the one big secret I have to tell you about is never look into the ball to start off with. And you're going to say to me, well, that's a bit strange because that's what a crystal ball is. You're meant to look into the ball, see images. No. The problem is that until you're in a state of oneness, and still you're relaxed, clear, then the images will not show because you're too focused on that. And then you'll start seeing what's at the back of the ball and the reflections and all the stuff that's in the ball, and this will put you off. That's why a lot of people put like a black cloth behind the ball so that they can't see the reflections of what's in the ball. And another key part is always look above the ball, behind it. Always look, because what that does is it stops the eyes from focusing on what it is that you're doing. So you're not looking, you're looking just above the ball and relax. And then what will happen is you'll start to get a shimmering effect, or you might get a white cloudy effect. Or maybe if you've seen Merlin when he looks into his well and he sees all its like cloudy stuff. That is sometimes starts, when you start doing that, it sometimes happens. And then eventually you'll start to get images. And the problem when we get symbols or images is that often the case is that we get a little bit excited because we've actually seen an image, or we want it a lot clearer. Now, another little secret that will help you out is find out your energy source. I have a meditation on building your energy source. Or find out what makes you connected. So what do we mean by this? You know, some people are of the earth, some people are water-based, some people are fire-based. So you finding out what really ignites you or gets you connected will mean that it'll be a clearer picture for you when you're actually looking into the ball. So mine is a waterfall. So I often imagine myself feeling the energy of the waterfall, and that will make the picture clearer. But I know not to concentrate because they will show you which part of the picture that you're meant to know. So say, for example, you've got an image of a bike. Now, that could be symbolic in the form of that somebody is wanting to get on their bike. It could be that you only see the wheel turning, and so they're going around in circles. It could be the colour of the bike that means so much to them. It could be that they want a bike. So there's all sorts of what you have to work out. But with the crystal ball, you tend to find that you can just give what you get, because often the case is that it is the image is representing of what's going to take place or what's going to happen. So often the case is that you can just see an image and give it. And if it needs more information, you'll find that the picture will grow, or the information will start to show. So that is so important to when you're giving a message. I've toured the country using a crystal ball, and it's the energy of the person that you really need is what's important. So I always get somebody to hold it in the hands that is the giving energy. Now this can be such a controversial, because in Reiki you use different hands for different energies, but I tend to find that my right hand is giving energy, my left hand is receiving. So I always get the person, or whichever hand they use the most of, I get them to hold the crystal ball in that. If I'm only doing a reading for like future stuff, then I will program the crystal ball to say future 3 times, which is then the spirit will know that I want future information to come through. So these are all little tricks of the trade, and there's loads online, and I've even got an ebook on crystal ball. But crystal ball is marvelous for looking into the future and seeing things. But also remember that the images you get is only your interpretation as well. So what I mean by that is you might see a picture, and it doesn't mean that's going to happen, but what it means is that that actual event is there, and sometimes it's just our interpretation. It's like a bit cryptic sometimes, and it's only when you experience it you understand what the crystal ball is trying to say to you, or the information for the future is trying to say. And so don't always take it as gospel that the information that you're getting is definitely what's going to happen. It could be them preparing you, it could be them showing you an event that was going to take place, but it doesn't, you don't know the outcome, you don't know the big picture. And this is why I think a lot of the churches don't allow you to do future, because it's also a way of programming people. So if you're always looking for a tall, dark, handsome stranger because you've been told by a psychic medium that's what you're going to get, then you're missing the opportunity of why they've given you that message. Because it might be a tall, dark, handsome stranger that's going to introduce you to your love of your life. But because you're so focused on that person and, oh yes, some psychic told me, oh my God, I must do. That's the person now, that's the one and only. But you didn't see the big picture. It just led you to the place that it needed to go. So yes, it's so important. But practice. Also get to know symbols in your house. Go around your house picking up objects. Use your 5 senses. Merge with the object. Because the spirit world will often try and give you in the crystal ball things that you know about. But also, with the crystal ball, you do just get pictures often. Now, also, you're going to say to me, well, how do you know when it's future? How do you know when it's what? Well, sometimes the picture will turn up on the right-hand side of the ball. Now, if it's on the right-hand side of the ball, that is future. If it's on the left-hand side of the ball, that's the past. If it's the present, it can be the center. But also, because of you're working with a crystal ball, it's often the case that the center could be the future as well. So don't take it for guaranteed that just because it's in the center. Because when you first start working with a crystal ball, or if you've been doing it for many years, you'll find that they work in a way that you can understand it, because they're trying to pass a message on. They're trying to give you information. And do also understand that the person you might be reading for or giving information for, because it's a future event and you've told them about something that's going to happen, they can't feel whether it's going to happen or not because it's a future event. So you might get some blank faces. I've had many blank faces when I've given messages, and often the message I gave is correct. And they said, "Oh, there's no way that could happen." I was even told that they all know there's no party going to happen in our street. We don't know anybody in the street that goes to my kid's school, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And then she had to send me an email stating that actually she didn't even realise that a family had moved in who her children knew who went to the school. And they did have a party, so she apologised. So, yes, and because you can't actually feel whether it's right or wrong, whereas when you're doing normal readings, you can feel in the heart whether it's right or wrong, and so it makes it easy. So what I would do if I'm using a crystal ball is I would get the energy of the person. I would state what it is that I want to try and get from the crystal ball. I would ask Spirit to come forward and connect and give me information. And for the future stuff, I would say future, future, future 3 times, which programs the ball to show me more of the future. It doesn't always happen. They still show you stuff, but you can feel. If you can feel it, you'll tend to find it's in the past. If you can't feel it, you'll tend to find that it's in the future. So crystal ball is just a tool, like everything else, a way to get energy so you can utilize the energy. Psychometry is another one that's brilliant for getting the energy and the DNA of the person, and also you can go up and down their timelines and go through pictures and information to see what they've done in the past, present and future. So it's an amazing tool to use, but it does take a little bit of practice. And be wary that some people are scared of crystal balls. When I used to tour the country, I did find that some people looked at the crystal ball and were like, oh no, they're going to see into my future. Oh no, they're going to know the things that I've done wrong. It doesn't work like that. Spirit world will give you the information that the person needs to help them or to help yourself. Make a note of it, because when it comes true or when you see it, it's quite marvellous to get. So just to recap on that, look over the ball. You might take a little bit of practice this. Wait until it shimmers or you get a white effect is normally the beginning of those who are first taken out. Somebody uses clairvoyance a lot, which is clear seeing. You'll tend to find the crystal ball is quite easy to use because they're used to looking into walls or even tables or getting images projected into their third eye. Get to know your symbols. What does a rose mean to you? You know, maybe do my pack where you can practice and practice to build your symbol base up. This makes it easier for the spirit world to communicate with you, or the universe to communicate with you and give you information. Plenty of meditations. Get your body and your vessel prepared so that it's easier to communicate with the tool that you have, which is the crystal ball. Practice. And whatever you get, just... the one thing that I used to love doing, and I might sound weird, but I used to just get hold of the crystal ball and I would think of a friend or I'd think of myself, and I would go through the process and make a note of it. I would have no actual, I used to call it speed reading, because what it was I was trying to train myself to be able to get information quickly. And so by just accepting what came and passed on, and be careful, because sometimes if they don't move on from a particular message, you've not got the full message of what it is that you're meant to share. So sometimes you can only get like one message. But if you tell them you're just doing a bit of speed reading or whatever, then just bang it out, bang the information out. It gets you used to using the crystal ball. It gets you used to actually communicating, and the spirit world can work with you, and it also helps you to build your connection with the crystal ball. I hope this has been helpful. I have done angel cards. I've done a little video on how to use angel cards a quick way, and dowsing as well, using a pendulum. And why not join my mediumship course, because I'm going to put all my insights over 30 years of experience of being a medium, and also insights and little secrets, and I have a ton of packs that you can actually get involved in, from beginners to a 6-month course, to enlightenment, and everything I'm going to share with you that I've learned over the years of practicing. Thank you for sharing.